Go.
Well, I actually like this layout because you've got this which says what kind of issue the whole magazine is. No, this, which says what kind of issue the whole magazine is. So this is an introduction page. Here I think is number 1, and they've laid it out release studio, field notes, the bottom lines. They've split it up, although there's not actually much text there. The main focus of the image is Batman, which again tells you what kind of film it is, but it's really not that much. But for someone who just wanted a brief summary, it clearly says it.
Okay. I quite like this one because there's a theme, all the titles are in the same colour, and there's a picture for every single film, but it's not a major picture, so there's more than just the one movie that you. So if you don't know what you're wanting to watch, there's quite an option from something like this film to We Bought a Zoo, which is quite girly and modern, whereas this looks quite, I have no idea what this is, but it looks quite different.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think they've really utilised the space well, but it does not look crowded at all.
No, because you've got the white spaces in between, so it doesn't look too crowded, and it's all neat and columned and things like that. The images all link to the film, which is really handy if you're a visual person. Then you know that you can tell what the movie maybe is about by the image, not just the text.
And we've got this one here, which, like the Batman one, is clearly from the same magazine. And again, there's just not much on the page. The main use of the page has been for the image, which yes, lovely image, very drawing. But there's not much. I mean, again, it's done it in the summary form. But personally, if I wanted a brief summary, yes, I would. But if I wanted to know about the film, I'd go for something like the page we just looked at. But then, to contradict that, we have this, which is also, again, you can tell from the numbers, on the same page. And on this double page spread, they've got 2 films. They've got quite a lot about this film. Again, a lot of space used for pictures. But they've got the layout really neatly on here, and I like it more. This page is more appealing, and also I think with the white background, it's a lot easier to read, whereas the other 2 are black with white text.
Yeah, I think this magazine is obviously the whole magazine is devoted to film reviews, but since we only have to do one double spread page, I don't think it's an appropriate layout because there's too much focus maybe on the picture.
Yeah, and we want to try and fit about 3 reviews onto one double page spread, whereas this it's clearly struggled to get 2. But if they did something this is the same magazine, but this is a much better one. If they did this now, it would look better.
Yeah, so we could this is maybe a little bit too much. So if we did something in between this one and this one, then it would work quite well, I think.
And then this is the
last one. So maybe almost something like this, because they have got one big picture, but then they've got smaller pictures, so they've got one main film they're focusing on, which is really effective, I think.
This one is definitely my favourite. The other 4 were Empire, and this is Total Film, and I really like it. I think if you had the main review like this, with a big picture and lots of text, and 2 reviews split on my page like this, kind of like they've done it, but maybe just you could split it that way, or just 2 instead of, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they've got 3 more, and they've got really short adverts and reviews because they've got the star rating. And that's what the other magazine didn't have, the star rating, and I really like that. It's not.
Yeah. Also, the star rating is in red, and I think maybe that.
I think it helps break up the page.
Yeah, which also red is it's the first colour you see, so it's quite eye-catching, and it's also the same as the age rating.
Yeah.
So that can tell you, you know, you need to be aware of this. Maybe that's the most important information.